leg locks. I still can get under the legs, which we'll go over. In this right here, I can still loop this guy over and begin starting to work on a cross heel hook. We have access to the back. If I have this, I have access to letting the hook out and coming up to the back by hooking the hip and coming up to the back of the turtle. We also have access to that calf slicer that I was discussing before. The calf slicer would again be because I locked in on his hip, and then we begin putting that pressure with that figure 4, and it will obviously create an immense amount of pressure. But again, sometimes guys can somehow eat the pain. But again, it's a very useful sticking tool. If nothing more, I've got this calf slicer, and then I can free the foot, and now I can move back up to the turtle position. So we have got a lot of things that are potential possibilities. So, but again, no gi. We have a little bit of slightly more limited because I don't have all of the collars that we're going to look at with the gi bear trap. I have a lot of collar benefit in feeding the collars and making sure that he's stuck and et cetera, et cetera. We also have leg drag. So when I move this leg over here, if Lance's knee opens up and he begins to turn to face me, we always have this ability to lift, come up and leg drag, and come up and start our passing. So there's a ton to do here. It's a very sticky position to re-enter on the legs, to sweep, to get into leg drags, and to get the back. So over the next few videos, we're going to dive in and really look at the techniques that we can use if we get bear trap from shin to shin versus overwrap, and also when we scoop and bring the leg to the other side. Okay, let's take you through getting to the back. Okay, we're going to start from an overwrap bear trap, and we're going to look at taking the back before we look at leg attacks. So it's a fine idea to make sure that you can go up the positional ladder, and then submissions of obviously could either be a product to finish your training partner or have them counter and move up. So when we take the back from bear trap, most of the time we're going to do it off this scoop. Okay, I need to get his leg out of the way. Either he, and by the way, he may take his leg out of the way for you. Really depends on what's going on. Most of the time, I'm going to need to make that scoop grip. And when we make here, how do we take the foot across? Like, it's very important that I talked about friction with you earlier. And it's an important concept that we need to keep in mind, because if I'm loose with no friction, things are just going to happen way too fast. He's going to move his leg over there. He's going to be gone, jet out of here before I have any opportunity to really take the back. So when we're talking about friction in this case is this scoop grip, and I'm going to pull with that scoop grip. My left arm is going to push. So I'm bending Lance's knee and pulling into my body. That makes sure his leg is not going to go flying and slip off over there. Okay? And then we're going to be careful about the transition between my left arm his foot being in my armpit to now letting it go. So again, this arm is, my elbow deep is pulling, my left hand lets it go, and then I'm going to bring my arm up. So I'm trying to get my elbow inside his hamstring before I start passing the leg through. That way, this is a handle. If I keep his knee bent, his calf is like a wall for me to pull on. Then we can pass the leg over, and now because the leg's getting ready to go straight, you want to grab it. Okay, I have a wedge between my knee and my hand. So again, this what I'm hoping to do is stop any sort of runaway. Okay, that's what this knee is doing. And my hand back here, my forearm is a wall behind him, and my knee here is a wall in front of him. So you don't just pass the leg around the head like this, because now it can run. Yeah, there he goes. He sprints away, and all is lost because it's slippery without gi. we want that friction. So I'm pulling. I then transition to the hand on the foot. It's still keeping his knee bent. Then my elbow gets in there. Now when I take the leg around my head, I put his knee down by my leg, but my elbow is still on the inside of his leg. So my hand's over the top, but my arm is not over the top, okay? This is important on this scenario, all right, guys? Because we have to worry about bear bull, which we'll look at in a minute, okay? So when we're really passing this leg over tight, we're gonna have our elbow wedged in there, and now I can start coming up, okay? If your elbow goes higher, no problem. Just be, we want to stay heavy on the ankle until we're up. And we do have to worry about berimbolo a little bit more, and I'll go over that in a few minutes with you. So again, we're here. The elbow stays wedged into the inside. My hand cups his thigh, so my knee and my forearm become this wall. And now I get rid of the bear trap, essentially. When my left hand is ready for the grip of the hip, we're gonna kick his leg out of here. And then now I'm gonna get up to the hip, okay? So when the leg gets removed, I should be able to have the hip by now, instead of coming up on a calf slicer. The problem with coming up on a calf slicer, not that it's problematic, it's the problem with coming up on a calf slicer is his foot sort of blocks me. All right, not that it's a bad thing if I put a lot of pressure, but his foot can actually block me from coming up. If you want to try to finish, be my guest. Just go slow there. But anyway, when I'm ready to take the back, my foot's gonna kick his leg out so that now I can come up. Now my hand's cupping into the inside of the hip, and I can easily start coming up. Right hand goes to the inside of the hip. Now my right leg is essentially stapled his